Come here, son, nephew, young man. Let me holler at you. If you're tuning in from the YouTube short or from the TikTok video, I spoke briefly about one of my students who was attempting to form a partnership with someone who he knows. The problem with trying to bring your friends in as partners or family in as partners, the likelihood that you're going to be doing all of the work or that you're dragging somebody along in your vision is very high. Let me make a suggestion. And the earlier in life you can start to work on this, the better. In the Black community, we're not taught to network properly. Maybe at some of the private schools and the college laboratory institutions, but overall, we're not taught this correctly. And I realize I have viewers of other ethnicities. Well, I'm a black man. I teach black students primarily, but basic business principles still apply. But it would be foolish of me to not address students and go from a perspective for the people who need the most help. But then again, this can apply to anyone. So, the earlier on you can understand ownership and control is key, and they are two separate things, and you begin to build relationships with others with ownership and control, now your two visions can complement each other. So for example, if one person wants to be a welder and the other wants to design some type of apparatus such as barbecue grills or car parts or something of that nature, you work with that welder, you make your blueprints, and now at least some of your parts you can get at, maybe possibly a cheaper price, or if nothing else, at least you build a relationship with who you can get your parts manufactured as far as your blueprints or your prototypes are concerned. Or what if someone wants to be a lawyer, but another wants to be a doctor? Okay, if you have a close friendship, then one person can start to learn the legal practice from the standpoint of defending his medical field counterpart. So now that person has somebody who they can work with and that they already have a working relationship with when these medical malpractice suits come up, because they are coming. When you decide to partner with somebody closely, things like this can occur. I'll give you an example. I had a romantic acquaintance at one point or another. I do believe in that old-fashioned model of a man being a man and a woman being a helpmeet. If you don't believe that, you don't have to, and I'm not forcing that on you. Those are my personal beliefs and what I do for my household. Your mileage may vary. If you understand that principle, then it goes without saying, a household is a business, and essentially, whether you like it or not, if you're going to do a long-term partnership or a marriage or a long-term situation or whatever you want to call it and whatever rules you want to go by, the likelihood that your female counterpart would be helping you in that capacity or in that role or in that type of arrangement is very high. Now, what I messed up on in this situation is we had some projects that clearly were developing into a business. This person had a certain type of content. I did the marketing. What this person didn't realize was, number one, you have to stay a united front if you're going to do a relationship and be in business together. because there are going to be people who come and try to wedge between you and try to leverage your information, try to get your trade secrets, or try to outright steal your content. And what I told this person was, don't do any deals without me. Now, this person did not understand the importance of marketing and did not realize that even though she had great content, nobody ever knew who she was other than small areas until I started doing specific marketing based on the field that we were in and some things about her that I could make shine. But she started letting people convince her that only her content was needed and she didn't need a partner and she didn't need me to be present. And she started striking these deals for very low amounts and very unfavorable terms. And then she started trying to come to our meeting table with these deals that came out of nowhere, just like, oh yeah, we need to travel here, we need to do this, we need to do that. I'm like, where'd this come from? What are the numbers? And I'm like, who made that deal? Who authorized that deal? Oh, you did that. You got this upside down deal when I had a game plan for us and you decided to go do something else. And now you want me to shoulder this burden that you've created. No, you made that deal. You're going to keep those terms if you can. And at this point, we're going to go ahead and terminate this partnership because I can't trust you anymore. So see, when you try to bring somebody in as a partner, not only can you ruin a business relationship, you can ruin your personal relationship as well. So if you have two people who are operating two separate businesses or wielding control of two separate entities or who are working two separate projects, you can still work on your own terms and work together on the terms that you agreed to. And when you're done, go your separate ways, have lunch, do whatever. So you just come together, you make deals, you work certain situations, but you maintain your independence for your control, your project, or for your business. Now, to a degree, if you're talking about your children, well, okay, you want to raise your children up to where your control or influence positively affects them, but they may decide to go do something else. Look at LaMelo Ball and his father, LeVar Ball. Now, I love what LeVar Ball did for his children. He got them their own brand. And instead of wanting to work the big baller brand, they decided to go with Adidas and Puma and this and that and the other. Okay. And as a father, you can't force your kids. You can bring them up and show them the right way. You run that risk, but to show your kids what the possibility is as far as ownership and control, okay, you need to do that. If you have someone in your household who either A, can't keep up, or B, won't keep up, or C, hopefully you don't make this mistake, but doesn't see your vision, you can only give that person, or even a friend, if you're trying to help a friend, you can only give that person what they can handle and what you can trust them with. Don't put more on them than they can handle, and don't try to envision them to be something that they are not. If what they are is your standard worker, there's nothing wrong with that. But understand their limitations and don't be upset if they don't exceed their limitations. Everybody's not built for that, and that is indeed okay. It does take some time and some experience if you're going to operate in the lane of entrepreneurship, management, or wielding control of an organization to learn how to do this. But the main thing is to compartmentalize a bit. If it's your vision, it's your vision. Don't try to bring everybody in it. Don't bring people who are going in an opposite direction. And don't give people roles that they are not capable of committing to or fulfilling. I realize this may be a complex topic. This is also going to be a video. Just the topic matter itself isn't for everyone, and I understand that. If you have any questions about the subject matter, you're welcome to email me at motivationequation at gmail.com. I am going to be working on some different projects in the future. I do have some books that I'm writing. I will be featured on a documentary, so be on the lookout for that. If you would like to share the content, you are welcome. If you would like to subscribe, your subscription is welcome as well. And as always, never lose the will to win and never lose the will to survive.